How about now? That's better. Welcome, fellow adventurers, nerds, and neurodivergents. Sit back, stay hydrated, and prepare yourselves for tonight's adventure. We're on time this week, finally. The stars aligned, no one got sick, everyone's here. So, without further ado, last we left off, the investigators were taken back to the city council chambers and met with quite the heated argument. After listening for a few moments, Lady Wren addressed them and thanked them for their help. They were told that payment was taken care of and they were given various documents for safe passage. From here, they were escorted back to the docks so they could get to their ship. Bavin waited for them with their loot. Kraka went off to remove the other tracker from the bottom of the ship. Then the rest went below deck to receive various items, crates full of tea plants and chests full of loot. It was late in the evening, and Joachim wanted to get to a brothel. He attempted to get through the guards with no luck, almost getting arrested. He then went to the office where Bavin was, and was told to leave and go back to his ship since it was past city curfew. On his way back, he got beat by a grandma, gave some gold to an impoverished child, and ran into some people who were tired of sleeping in tents. After a brief confrontation, to which Kraka stealthily intervened and diffused the situation, Bavin offered the three individuals a hot meal and a place to rest for the night on his ship. That is where we pick up. Kraka, Joachim, and these three primordial humanoids are heading back to the ship. So we're going to go back to those of you that stayed back on the ship and play it out from there. That is, ironically, all the girls, Lala, Yenor, and Deedle, and Poppy, all back on the ship. What are you all doing while Joachim is off trying to have some nightly escapades?
I want to put Poppy in his bed. And I want to make sure Poppy is very muddy and sandy and wet beforehand.
I can give you a wet.
Surely there's some dirt.
Not close enough to where she'd be able to get to it, to get enough on her and get back with a timely fashion.
About sand.
She could probably get some sand between her feathers. She'd have to hold her breath for a little bit.
Is she capable of that?
Mm-hmm.
Then by all means.
Roll an animal handling check. Unless you're going to fly on her and go with her to do it. Animal handling it is. 22?
That is a 22.
Okay. Lala and Deedle, you hear Yenor tell Poppy to go get Sandy and Wet, and then she flies off for a few moments. You watch her, she kind of just flies around, dives in the water a couple times, flies over to docks, dives in, ruffles around in the sand, then comes back up and flies back and shakes her feathers off and gets water and sand everywhere.
I'm going to ask Lala for help breaking into Wakim's door.
No problem. Was just heading there myself anyway. See if I can either jam or change these locks.
This plan is going to go amazingly.
Okay. Lala, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check. I believe we were doing.
Yes.
And add your proficiency bonus.
I actually just got in the door. Would you
I
mind
can
rolling
roll
for me
you.
this one?
Yeah, I can roll
Thank
for you. We're going to go here. Because you don't have... Oh, you do have sleight of hand proficiency. So you just roll sleight of hand checks now because you're proficient with Thieves' Tools as well. We roll that because you don't get double proficiency on that. That is a dirty 20. That is enough to pick open the lock. Unless you would like to try to do something else to the lock while you're picking it open.
No, not yet.
Okay. The door is open.
I'm going to tell Poppy to get nice and comfy in his bed. And just roll around a little bit. Really fluff up the mattress for him.
She looks at you. Looks at the bed. Looks back at you. Making sure it's okay. Looks at the bed. She kind of has to squeeze into this tiny room. Squeezes in. Or the tiny doorway, I should say. Squeezes in. Lays down in the bed. Rolls around. Just to the happy feet on the front. There's some fluff going around. Then she kind of lays down and curls up and spreads her wings out. And just lays down.
I don't know anyone who's going to want to sleep in that with him.
Are you doing anything else?
I'm going to head downstairs and start cooking.
Okay.
She uses her claws to fluff, yes?
Yeah. Her front claws.
Aw, how cute.
Like a cat. Making biscuits, but aggressively. And the claws are the size of your face. So more like a tiger making biscuits. Less like a house cat.
It's still adorable.
Alright. Yenor, you go downstairs to start cooking up some dinner. Lala and Deedle, what are you both doing?
Get up top and sit in the crow's nest. I'm gonna wait for him to get back and just kind of watch what happens as he goes downstairs to find his bed in a complete disarray.
Okay. So, you just kind of climb up and hang out in the crow's nest? Are you going to do anything else? Are you going to... Oh, that's right. You and Lala both have items that you need to attune to as well. Which will happen during a long rest, but you could start attuning to them now if you would like, especially you, Deedle, if you're just going to hang out in the crow's nest.
I'll do that.
Okay. So you start admiring your axe, we'll say. Just focusing on it and its magic and spending time with it and getting acquainted with this new magical weapon. You're not attuned. You're not attuned yet, but I will tell you when you are.
Okie dokie.
Lala, what are you doing?
Do any of the other rooms on the ship have locks on them, whether we use them or not?
You haven't spent a lot of time in the other room, so you can go ahead and make an investigation check.
Grandmother and I didn't eat, so leave it up for both of us.
That's fine. Investigation. Let's see if it actually adds your modifier. First, we have to see if it actually rolls. Oh, okay.
15.
Look at that. All right. 15. You're not entirely sure what other rooms have doors on this ship to begin with, so it takes you a little bit of time. But I'd say after about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes of wandering around the ship a little bit, none of the other doors have a lock on them, really. It's just to the captain's quarters and like the doors inside of the captain's quarters.
There's not even, like, say, a chest with a padlock or something.
Oh, there's chests with padlocks.
All right. Can I use my
In fact, while you're looking around, the two chests that are each worth 4k gold and have gold and gem in them that no one bothered to try to open have locks on them.
Excellent. How did they expect us to open these?
No one investigated it while Bavin was still there.
Can I investigate one of them now? Or both of them now, I guess?
Sure. This is a more detailed investigation check, so I'll have you roll again just for each of the chests specifically.
So twice?
No, just once. But this is investigating both chests. You're not just doing one.
Yes, got it. I'm going to add a hero point just because
Okay.
I have them anyway. And I never use them.
Listen, I'm happy when you guys use the things that are freely given to you. That's what they're there for. 15 again.
Again.
How? Let me see. I need to look at your. Looking at the chests and looking around them, there seem to be rune inscriptions on them as well. And as you try to poke and prod at the lock that's on it, there's a shimmering arcane-like field that is preventing your tools from penetrating the hole of the lock.
Shit, magic things. Who here knows magic? Yenor seems to know magic?
I mean, you know Yenor can do magical things.
Yeah.
But right now she's actually on the same level as you right now because she's cooking while you're doing shenanigans. So she's just, you're like with the loot. So we'll say Poppy's over here, messy. Dee's up here. Yenor's down here, over here cooking. You're down here. Oh. Are you not on the right map? You're not. I didn't switch your map. Sorry, guys.
I just refreshed to be sure.
So you're down. We'll put you over there. So Yenor is down there with you, but she is not in line of sight of you because she's in the kitchen area cooking dinner for everyone.
Yenor, do you have a sec?
Is what I'm cooking safe enough to leave for a few minutes?
I don't know. What are you cooking?
Probably some kind of fish stew.
Yeah, then yeah. If it's fish stew, you can leave it. For stew, just stews.
Putting
Alright.
fish in the microwave.
I go over.
Lala Yenor comes out of the kitchen as you call her, and she comes over, and she's standing with you, and you're both staring at these chests.
These locks are magic. I can't pick them. Do you think you know how to open them?
What kind of magic is it?
I don't know.
You can make an Arcana check and try to figure that out.
Yeah, I'll make an Arcana
You
check.
have advantage.
Oh, that's great because that was a 9. That's not much better. Hero point. 17.
Inspecting the runes and looking around and kind of just shifting the chest as you can. It's a fairly heavy chest, but kind of shimmying it and trying to see and poking the thing with a stick, like try to get something through the barrier. It most likely needs some type of anti-magic solution to remove the magical influence around the lock.
And just to clarify, what is this lock on?
This lock is on both, so there's one lock on each of the chests that are worth 4k gold each.
So what you're telling me is that they gave us chests of items to sell, but we can't open them?
They were confiscated items. It's not entirely sure. Someone checked to make sure they were unlocked or not.
Can I try to smack it with my sword?
Sure. Roll an attack roll.
Okay.
Yeah!
18.
Okay, roll damage.
Lala dodges out of the way.
I'm gonna double-hand it. $16 points of damage.
Ting!
Just glance. Okay.
It glances off of whatever arcane influence is around the chest. Similar to other things that you've seen, such as a wizard's shield. Just kind of bounces off.
We have that thing from Lady Lantana that we can contact her once per day, right?
Yes.
Who has that?
I'm going to say she was talking to you and she handed you the paperwork. So you would have the thing that actually, no. The thing that contacts her once per day is included with the loot. So currently, whoever wants to have it. But I'd say you probably do because you were inventorying all of the stuff that Babin was giving you.
Can I request Babin come here real quick? Since we haven't left port yet, we're still right here. And explain why real quick.
Okay, so it is a stone that you have to talk into.
Is there a word limit? How do I know that she receives the message?
I mean, you can make an Arcana check on the stone. Or you can make a history check to try to remember if you've encountered an enchanted item like this previously. It's fine. They just blinked. It's alright. It's alright.
I'll do a history check to see how it works.
Okay, go ahead and make a history check.
19.
A 19. Why is this not doing the thing? There we go. You have come in contact with items of a similar nature, especially when working undercover jobs. 1 second, this one monitor's not coming back up. There we go. Basically, when you talk into it, it glows. And then when someone's talking back to you, it glows and like dims and brightens as they talk. So if it's glowing while you're talking, you know it works. But you have to talk into it.
And is there a word count?
You are aware that some do have a word count. However, with this one, you are not told if there was one or not.
Alright, I'm gonna hold the phone. I'm gonna say, Lady Wren, please send Babin. We're in port.
I'll see if I can get a hold of him. He's managing the port currently. So, yeah. I'll send him your way as soon as I can. Is this an emergency?
Depends on the definition.
Is someone under attack or bleeding or dying?
There's no risk of injury.
Okay.
That's untrue.
No
My-
risk of permanent
We
injury.
will send Bavin as soon as we can. He's dealing with a thing at the gate.
My mental facilities are extreme risk.
I think you'll survive.
I sleep in there.
I'm sure there's fresh linens. I'm gonna go look for fresh linens and hide them from Wakim.
You don't need to look for them. You know where they are.
I'm going to hide them.
Where are you going to hide them? No, better yet, just roll a stealth check.
In the box when we get them open.
With or without advantage?
Without. Unless Lala's helping you. Hide linens.
Sure, I can help. I have nothing
Alright,
better to do.
then you
until
can
they get
either... Okay. That's fine.
30-20.
Dirty 20? Alright. You find all the linens and you hide them at a place of your choosing. Are either of you doing anything else?
I can't do much unless I can unscrew those locks. Like, okay, are they held on by screws? Like the latch themselves has screws in it, and then the lock is through, like
It's like a
traditional.
bolt. Well, yeah, it's like a bolt.
Are those magic? Because realistically, I'm just trying to get the entire thing off.
You watched Yenor strike the chest and the chest deflected her strike.
True.
You would assume that the entire thing is enchanted, not just the lock.
Oh, but
Damn.
using like a screwdriver or something wouldn't be magical.
She tried poking it with her lockpick set already.
Okay.
So it's not whether or not it's magical, it's just the chest itself is protected.
Until Babin gets here, I'm kind of screwed. Well done.
Do you want to help me make a gross thing for Wakim to eat?
You all done?
Ah, plan number 2. Make him sick. Let's do it.
Food?
We go to the kitchen.
Okay. You both go into the kitchen and begin cooking whatever it is that you're cooking.
We should make a small bowl of stew that has something gross in it so that he'll get sick, but everybody else can eat the rest of the stew.
Beetle, are you doing anything up in your crow's nests specifically?
Not specifically, no.
Okay. I would say that about this time, because Joaquin would have been gone about an hour or more dealing with all the shenanigans. So about this time, you would be attuned to the War God's axe. So you may now mark yourself as attuned to it.
Nice.
And you can use it accordingly. The War God's axe is a very, very fun magical item.
That's pretty interesting. I can't wait to use it.
All right. If everyone is good here, Joaquin and Kraka and your 3 companions that you are giving a place to rest. You all return to your ship. Gonna get you all on the ship. So, it's gonna be a little crowded for the time being. All right. You all get back to the ship. You and Kraka don't see Poppy, Yenor, Lala, or Deedle anywhere. Joaquin, the door to your captain's quarters is open when you walk back on the ship.
That's very suspicious. So I would get here. I would kind of have everybody pause, and I would cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You detect the magic of Deedle's items that are usually on Deedle, and you detect her new axe. She seems to be up in the crow's nest. You detect the magic items that Yenor and Lala usually carry on them down below you, somewhere near the back of the ship where the kitchen is.
Okay, so that's where they are.
You don't detect any other magic, really. I don't believe Poppy has anything magical on her.
Um,
Oh, you also detect magic from all the loot that you were given, and there is an extreme amount of magic coming off of both chests that are below you.
Okay. At least I know where they are. Alright, I'm just gonna go over to my room, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna jiggle the door.
Okay. Well, the door's not closed, it's open, so you're just looking into your room right now, actually.
Is the door locked, broken in any way?
Nope, not broken, just open.
Okay, so then I will cautiously go inside and take a look.
You go inside, take a look, and you see the giant bird hippogriff creature that is Poppy, wet and sandy, laying on your bed, sprawled out with some fluff around her head.
Very angry face, and remembering that I was able to scare it roar, I will step inside next to it, look it directly in the eyes, and I will make I will use I'm going to use minor illusion, and then I will knock my head back, and I will pretend to make a roar, and out of my use the sound of grass roaring.
I did catch that, but you are starting to go in and out a little bit. Not sure if that's your mic or not.
Oh, is that any better?
That is better. Go ahead and just for funsies, make a performance check.
That's 23.
23? All right. So you roar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do this. Okay. Poppy's asleep. She's not awake because he see you walk in. So she immediately wakes up, starts squawking and flapping and tearing up your bed and running around the room and knocking things off shelves and everything.
And when she turns and looks at me, minor illusion again to produce a Tarrasque, an ethereal Tarrasque head over my own head, a large ethereal Tarrasque head, and I'm just staring at it. And then I point out of my room and I say, run.
All right. Poppy's going to make an attack roll against the thing instead of running because she doesn't know what you are currently.
Oh boy. Okay.
So Yenor,
gonna do this.
Go ahead and roll whatever attack you think Poppy would make.
$18.
I will shield.
Okay. You reaction shield, and her claws bounce off of a shield. Let's see.
When she does that, I'm going to shout out because I know exactly where Yenor is. I'm going to shout out, Yenor, come and get your animal before I kill it.
So her claw bounces off your shield, and then she kind of sniffs you for a second and realizes that you're not a scary beast, that you're Wakim, and then she kind of just licks the side of your face.
I don't allow her to. If she tries to lick my face, I'm going to slap it away, and then I will use my action to create an ethereal greatsword, and I will point it directly at the creature. And in a threatening way, I will tell it again. Out.
Yenor, you do hear him yell, and you hear the commotion because it's literally right above you.
I start making my way up.
Then we go up, and we go over. So you get up, and you see him pointing this, what you recognize as ethereal greatsword at Poppy, who now just looks confused instead of scared or annoyed.
Do I see Yenor come to the door?
You do see Yenor come to the door.
I look at her with an angry look, and I just say, explain.
Are you really that scared of her? It was a fucking prank.
Why is my door open, and why is your beast in my room?
We wanted to make it so you couldn't fuck anyone. It was a prank. And you scared a sleeping hippogriff.
And then he turns and he looks at his room, which is in shambles now.
Yeah, before it was just your bed that was slightly messed up, but now your entire room's in shambles.
Yep. And he just kind of gives Yenor just a disgusted, annoyed look. And
All of
says,
this was your fault. She just messed up your bed. There's fresh linens in here. You could have just changed the sheets and been fine.
Out, 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 out.
I want an apology. You scared my pet.
She just kind of sits down
The
and
only
looks at.
apology I'll give at this moment is not killing it. Get it out, or it goes.
She's just kind of sitting.
I'll gesture for her to leave. And then I'm just gonna go back downstairs.
Okay. What are you doing now, Joaquin?
What are the other three? I guess what are Crocker doing? What's Crocker doing, and what are those three Genasi doing?
Well, they're just kind of standing in an open space in the corner, awkwardly. Just kind of waiting.
All right, so I need a layout of what this ship has. Like, are there guest quarters? Because my room's in shambles now. So at this point, we just got to find a place for them to sleep.
Any guest quarters would be down in the lower deck, kind of how Kraka's cleaned up and set up down there. So it's not really rooms per se, just an area with bedrolls and other sleeping arrangements.
All right, so Joaquin would then kind of collect himself, turn around and look at the shambles of his room, take one big deep sigh, and then walk outside and try and check in on everybody, and then see if if anyone's hungry, and so I guess we would head downstairs to grab some food, and I can tell them where they can rest.
Okay. Kraka, are you doing anything specific?
I'm just gonna talk to the three people we came on to, because he's preparing the arrangements for them to like sleep, right? Or is he taking them down there?
He's
I
about to
thought we
start
were all
doing
going
that.
there.
Oh, I was gonna have them just chill on the deck or whatever. But if we're all going downstairs, then I'll follow. And once you get to the bottom of the steps, I'll head off to go cook food, because I don't know that, or I didn't know, it was already cooking. So.
Okay. Now, you go down. As you go downstairs, you kind of hear the three individuals you brought back with you whispering to themselves. This could be a trap. Yeah, they could be slavers. What are we doing here? Why don't we just go back to our tent? Look, you guys didn't want to sleep in a tent again.
Whoa, slavers! No. Never that.
Oh, sorry. We were having an internal discussion.
Apologies. Did I overhear? Was I able to overhear that? Just 'cause
You heard them talking. You heard
if-
them talking amongst themselves as they're following you down. And then you smell some type of stew as you get down below deck.
Does it smell good?
It smells like stew.
I mean, there are different kinds of stews here.
It smells like a good fish stew. Like a nice hearty
good
meal.
fish stew.
Yeah.
Mm. The kitchen is to the left where Lala and Yenor are, or
Yeah,
is
that's the kitchen and
right?
eating area.
Okay. So then I guess with motion 2 to 3, it's like you guys are hungry. And here would be where you guys can find some food. It smells like something was made, but if that's not your fancy, then you're welcome to make your own. We got stuff. Kraka was the cook on the ship before, right? Like
Kraka
he
did cook
made
before
stuff,
as well. Yes.
and that was really good from what I remember. Even though it didn't look good, like it tasted.
Well, the omelet didn't look good because he kind of just threw everything from the previous breakfast together into an omelet. But it did taste good.
So then
You
I
also
would
know
kind of
that if
look.
Yenor's cooking, that it is also good because Yenor knows how to cook.
Yep. So I would, yep, I mentioned that there's something being made that smells pretty good, and I also would mention that Kraka actually knows how to cook as well.
Okay. Thank you. We'll, hang back here, let you guys get some food first, and then we'll grab ours.
All right. So then I guess I'll look at Kraka and say, "You coming?" And then I'll walk inside, and then I'll see the two of them, and I'm already a little annoyed at But then I see Lala, and when I see Lala, did I know beforehand? Because did I know that she snuck into my room before? Not
No.
this time, but like previously.
You did not. She successfully stealthed from you every time. Just
Okay.
like as you walk in there, you swear you heard Lala's voice talking back to Yenor, helping her cook at some point. But as you go through the door, Lala's not there.
Is my detect magic still active?
How long is it active for?
think it's 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
No.
No. Okay. All right. And I guess. All right. So what is in here exactly as far as food?
As far as what?
Like food.
Right now, a lot of things because you've been restocked as part of helping out the city. So you've been restocked with your pantry staples like your flour and sugar and various spices and whatnot, and you've been restocked with bread and rice and various other starches, and then you've been restocked with meats and fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. So you're working with a full stock right now. You were running a bit low. You didn't prepare for a 3-day journey when you had originally left, and you didn't have time to restock. So you were running low before, but now you're fully stocked again.
I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna ask Yenor who made the food. But do I know that she made the food? Was it here?
She is the one standing in front of the, I'm gonna say very large cauldron sitting on like a fire. Just slowly stirring.
I would ask her then what she made.
She's also giving you a look.
Yep.
Like
Once
you were giving her a
we,
look, now you were giving her a look, but you threatened Poppy, so now she's giving you a look, and it's the death stare look.
All right. In that case, I would turn around to the pantry and I would start making a sandwich.
Do I know how many people he's brought on board?
You would have seen them when you went upstairs. There were just 3 random people off to the side. They kind of blended in with the background because they looked like they didn't want any part of whatever was going on.
How do they look physically? Like, do they look like they've eaten recently?
No.
In that case, I'm gonna get the 3 biggest bowls I can find and just start filling it for them.
Well, luckily, because Lala was helping you, she, obviously helped throw stuff in the pot as you were stirring, or stirred while you were throwing stuff in the pot. But she also helped you gather plates and bowls and whatnot. There's some nice bread out to do the dippy dips into the stew and the yummy stuff. So you get some nice big, deep bowls. They're not the deepest bowls, but that's because they're wide, so that you can easily just put bread on the side, fill it up to the top. You find like a big tray that you can fit all the bowls on, and you just bring it out. And as you bring it out, you see Kraka standing there with them, just trying to basically not get involved with whatever it was that just happened. So Kraka, you standing here with the 3 strangers that have followed you and Wakim on board, see Yenor come out of the kitchen. Still rather angry look on her face, but she has 3 huge bowls with some bread. And you see Yenor, the youngest of the 3 individuals, starts drooling a little bit at the smell of the food. The middle one tries to keep his composure, and the oldest one just kind of just sees the look of relief on her face because she's been taking care of her siblings.
Well, would you guys like some tea, or is the soup enough?
Some tea would be nice as long as we're not overstepping our bounds. Yeah, I'd definitely like some tea, please.
Do you prefer it hot or cold?
I think hot would be best with a nice hot stew. We don't want to cool ourselves down after eating this delicious looking meal that our savior here has created. The middle one's trying to, I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. Kiss up to you.
I'm just gonna raise an eyebrow as I hand them the giant bowls.
Well, I'm gonna walk over to the crate of tea we got and grab some leaves of tea and go boil some water and make some hot tea. And then stir it out, and then I'll grab my food and sit down and eat with everybody.
Okay. Joaquin sits down kind of away from everyone else with his sad sandwich. Yenor, you don't even know where Lala went. Just at some point, she disappeared.
That's just standard at this point.
You don't know if she got food with her. You don't know. You don't know what she's doing. She's just gone. None of you still know if D is coming down for food either. You do all know where she is, but she hasn't descended. Unless D, you would like to descend now to get some dinner. As you just overheard from the crow's nest the commotion that just happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna scurry down and go grab something to eat.
Alright. So, you'll scurry down here. You'll see Yenor. Joaquin's kind of off by himself. Yenor's kind of right here. Kraka's over here making some tea. The 3 strangers are kind of just less awkward. They're kind of opened up now that they've actually gotten some food in them. And you get down there and smell the stew, and it's a fish stew, and you're a tabaxi, so that's one of your favorites.
Indeed. Go get me some of that.
There's some nice crusty bread too with it.
Nothing like crusty bread.
bread is the only thing you can call crusty as a compliment.
Listen to my crusty.
I don't think an eye crusty is a compliment.
That's a nice eye crusty you got there.
Oh God. Listen, I want someone to go up to the next person they see in public that's a stranger and just tell them that and see what happens.
I work in a public place. I will so do that.
That is to be quickly followed up with, you know, you are a fine-looking lass. Have you ever brushed out a man's toupee?
That's funny.
There's the line of compliments that go on.
All right. So you got the bread, you got the stew. Come on, go. I would like to moderate my chat. I'm having so many technical difficulties right now. Everyone's got food. Most of you have good food. One of you's got a sandwich. Is there anything else that I guess you four are doing, because Lala's, again, off in Lala world? There's still these 3 strangers down here.
So,
They do inhale your food.
what brings you guys to the city?
Well, let's just say we were run out of the last city we were in.
I can relate.
Legally or illegally?
That's not important.
Referring to what?
Were you the criminals or were they?
Oh, the last city we were in, let's just say our parents weren't the nicest folks and just kind of left us. So we had to do what we needed to do to survive, and we got caught up in with the wrong crowd, but testified against them and were banished from the city.
I can kind of relate to that too, but except for the banishment part, I didn't get banished.
There is a warrant for you. I don't think you could go back.
Well, I was just gonna say that they want me dead. So I think that's worse than.
It's dead or alive.
So.
The bounty's dead or alive.
At least if you get banished, you could possibly, be allowed back in. But in my case, no. I would much rather stay alive.
I doubt that we'd be allowed back in. The Kingdom of Ishania is very strict with their rules.
I've spent most of my life on the sea, so I don't know all these city rules.
You're better off on the sea.
I'm gonna ask if they want more food.
So, the youngest, who's like, I don't know, a teenager, like 18, 19, just kind of looks at you with her bowl and just looks up and goes, with just bread and like stew dripping off the side of her mouth. Like there's just stew here and there's a piece of bread that's half chewed and the other half's just out of her mouth. And she's holding the bowl up and just going, shaking her head.
What
Race are these?
So, oh god, I didn't write it down, so I have to remember. They're all primordial beings. The youngest is, I think I said water genasi, or ice.
There was a water, an ice, and a genasi of unknown origin.
Yeah, so the youngest was a water genasi. The brother, the middle one, is an ice genasi. And then the oldest is a one looks like a genasi, but not a genasi. You can make a history check to figure it out, because you're an investigator. You've come in contact with
Would it be history or investigation?
history to remember if you've seen someone of this background before.
19.
19, that's pretty good. I have to find, what is it under? I have so many folders. An Aquanara. A primordial being, a primordial humanoid descended from the primordial beings long before the Genasi were even a thought. That is where that bloodline comes from. Apologies to those listening if I changed their races. I'm sorry. I forgot to make note of it. They are now these races.
So the little one does. Do the other two?
The middle brother says, yes, please, if you have the food, I would greatly appreciate some more. And then the older sister says, thank you, I will let them eat first and then I'll have some more.
I'm just gonna grab all 3 bowls and go refill them.
Oh,
Such manners.
more bread. Please.
I'll just grab an entire loaf and throw it in her bowl specifically.
Okay. I don't
Is
like that
everybody
one.
else done, or would you like more?
Where is Wakim specifically? Like in relation to where my giant soup pot is.
He said he was kind of just turned his back and went to the other side of the room.
How big is the room?
Sure. I don't know exactly how big it is. Are these accurate? Yes, they are. So, I mean, it's like a 400, 500 square foot room with like a partition wall between the kitchen and where the table is. And then there's another wall between where you are currently and where they're all kind of just sitting in the cargo area eating. They're not kind of in there with you guys. They're kind of just keeping out of the way.
Okay, I'll just refill them, grab them bread, and go back.
Okay. You hand them their food. Kraka, it's about around this time that the food is ready. Or that the tea is ready. How much tea did you make? Like, were you making just for them? Were you making for everybody?
I don't know how I would measure it, but let's just say approximately about 2 gallons.
Okay, that's fine. That's as long as we have. Like, I didn't know if you were making like individual things or if you were making just a huge thing, community thing, like
Yeah.
Yenor did with the stew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you've got this whole big thing of tea that's ready.
Is there like a food cart or anything in the kitchen? Or do I just gotta bear hug it and bring it out to the out there?
There's not like really a push cart for food like that a restaurant or catering place or like a large commoner ship would use. There is like the big serving tray. There's another one of those that Yenor used to bring the bowls back and fill them and bring them back out. But there's not like a cart per se. Bear hug it. You could ask for help.
Let's grab a serving tray and put it on the serving tray and bring it out.
Okay. You could also just pour it into glasses and bring the glasses out and keep it on the cooking area.
No, it's self-serve. I made it. They can take however much portions they would like themselves.
Okay. Yenor, Deedle, and Wakim, are you also going to partake in the tea that Kraka has made from the tea that was included in your loot?
Yes.
Yes, I'll have some tea as well.
D, I didn't hear what you said, if you said anything when you unmuted.
Of course.
Okay. So, I have a very interesting question for each of you as you take your sip of this tea. I'm just gonna go down the list. Deedle. Let me double check to make sure I get the details correct. Alright, Deedle, have you ever murdered somebody in cold blood?
No.
The tea tastes like the best tea you've ever drank.
This is mighty good.
Wakim, have you ever murdered somebody in cold blood?
Not that I can recall.
The tea tastes fantastic. Yenor, have you ever murdered anybody in cold blood?
I don't think so.
The tea tastes fantastic. Kraka, are you taking some tea as well?
Yes, I am, and yes, I have.
This tea tastes foul. It's almost impossible to swallow.
Ooh. I think I used too much leaves.
You see...
What are you talking about? It tastes delicious.
Well, I know how much to add now for you guys, but next time I gotta try to figure out a different mixture. Oh!
You see the youngest and the brother both drinking the tea happily. You see the oldest sister kind of struggling to get the tea down like Kraka.
Do we know why?
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna ask what's wrong with it. It tastes amazing.
Ask who?
Both of them, because they're making faces.
Okay. I guess I'm just not used to whatever tea this is.
Very
Your
bitter.
siblings are fine.
I've had to leave them alone on a couple occasions, and maybe they found this tea before. I just... Yeah.
I'm gonna go get her a different beverage. I'm assuming there's like ale or something on the ship.
You've been restocked with ale, mead. You have clean water, like drinking water, obviously. Like, that's just a necessity. You have barrels of water.
I'll get them both a glass of ale.
Kraka, Yenor comes up and takes your tea and gives you a glass of ale, and you give one to the little sister. Oh, that's much better, thank you.
Oh, I know what she gave me. I slammed that.
It washes the tea taste right out of your mouth.
Oh, that's so much better. Thank you.
Let me check. There is more tea for Yenor, Joachim, and Deedle, and for the 3 NPCs that are with you right now. There is more tea that you could continue to drink if you do so choose, and there is more stew if you choose to eat. But for the time being, unless there's anything specific you guys want to do or talk about with these individuals that are with you.
I'm done with my small talk.
Hmm?
I said I'm done with my small talk.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. Got anything, D?
No, I'm just gonna observe these people because they're new, and it's just kind of odd that I thought the tea was delicious,
Yeah. Yenor.
and it was all out of the same pot.
It was all out of the same pot. And you weren't the only one that thought it was delicious. Joachim and her 2 siblings and Yenor also thought it was delicious.
So I'm just gonna keep an eye out.
Okay. Yenor, you are the
but
resident. Oh, go ahead.
nobody knows why.
Right. You don't
Like
know
you
what
guys,
kind of tea
you
it
guys
is.
are only being a little bit suspicious because you heard me answer the question that I murdered somebody previously. You guys don't know that I did. You guys don't even know why it tastes like shit to me.
They're just going off the fact that it tastes delicious to them and that 2 people didn't like it, don't seem to like it as much.
That's okay.
Yenor, you are the resident investigator, and these are new people that you are unfamiliar with. Are you doing anything specific?
Just gonna look them over and see if I notice anything of interest.
I'm going to say because of the way you worded that, and D, because of the way you worded that, you can each make an insight check, or one of you can make an insight check with advantage.
I have insight with advantage anyway.
Okay, so D, you can make a straight insight check, and then Yenor, you make yours normal with for use advantage.
I'm gonna hero point that. $18.
Okay. Oh!
Yeah, I'm gonna hero point that one too.
Are you going to hero point, or are you going to use an inspiration?
No, I'll use inspiration then.
Okay. Because otherwise that's a natural 1, and I get a inspiration.
That wasn't any better.
Better than a natural 1. Thankfully, because they're so, like, their guard is completely down right now as they're eating. The oldest ones is, like, a little up, but, like, the way they're eating, they haven't eaten for probably, like, days. Looking them over, you could tell that they have been traveling for a while. Their clothes are very ratty and dirty. They haven't had a proper shower or bath. It doesn't even seem like they've had a proper meal in a while. It seems like even when they were eating, it was probably just scraps or rations or dumpster diving. Yeah, not fresh cooked home meal. The youngest seems to be the most innocent, just doing what her older siblings tell her to do. The brother seems to have quite the street smarts on him, but not a lot else going on up there. The oldest is the one that you glean the most off of. There's something else about her that is drawing your attention. She's not as timid as she is giving the impression of right now. She is not as soft-spoken or as just wallflower type. She seems more of the get in your face, take charge type, but she has this mask of timidness on in the moment. That's what you get.
Okay.
And both of you get that. They're not that hard to read. So D, even with a 13, you also get that information.
Babin at? Is he?
Oh, I forgot about him. I forgot about Bavin. Well, he was dealing with something. He does appear now. Let me find his thing. Yes, I know. Stop yelling. I took care of the problem. Oh my god. I'm gonna burn you. I'm gonna throw you in the. Hello.
I go up. Hello.
Stop it. And you see him smacking his hat. Yes, I was told to come here. What do you require?
We were wondering if you could remove the magic that's preventing us from opening the chest you gave us.
I didn't know there was magic on those chests. They were just given to me by the executor.
Mind just wiping the locks so that we can get in?
Sure, let me come down and take a look with you. I didn't mean for your reward to be locked up. And he comes downstairs with you, right? And he sees the 3 individuals that you have. And he looks them over. And he makes eye contact with the oldest. And you just see his eyes narrow a little bit. Yeah, sure. First, who are your friends here? How'd you find them?
Oh, they're just some strays we picked up.
It's nice of you to give them a hot meal. I'm sure they've been on the road for a while.
Oh, I'm so nice, Babin. Do you mind helping us with these chests? I'm gonna try to redirect his attention.
Yeah, I'll let me go take a look here. And he takes a second. I'm gonna have him make an Arcana check. He's better at that. That's a 33. Oh yeah, this is a simple. This is. Why didn't your resident guy over there?
We don't talk about him right now.
Oh, and he looks at you when you say that. What does your expression look like when?
Completely deadpan, no emotion, nothing.
Got it. Understood. Lady Wren's given me that look quite a few times. Specifically recently, and specifically when dealing with these council members. Anyway, and he looks and he kind of pokes around at the, and you see him mumbling to himself, and then he smacks his hat a couple times, and then he takes out this magical wand thing and mutters under his breath. You actually see the sparkles of magic just dissipate from both chests. There you go. You should be good now. There was an enchantment on it to explode if someone actually tried to pick the lock. That the chest would explode.
Gee, thanks for putting bombs on our boat.
Listen, I didn't investigate them. I was handed this by Executor Pardon.
So she gave you bombs. I feel like that should be reported.
Is it Executor Pardon? Did I get that right? It is Executor Pardon. I wasn't sure if her title was
Yeah,
correct.
it's Queefrina Hardon.
Oh my god. Quinthrina Pardon.
Leave Rena hard on.
And yes, it will be reported to Lady Wren, who already has all of them on a short leash now because of the prisoner fiasco and the vampire fiasco and just about every other fiasco that's currently going on in the city. Because apparently, only the you know what? You don't need to hear this. Your chest. There's your chest. I have a job to go back and do. And he just kind of gives a look to the oldest sibling and kind of starts heading up the stairs.
I'm gonna follow him up.
Okay.
There's nobody up here that I'm aware of, right?
Poppy.
Just him and I.
Poppy's sleeping.
Okay. I'm gonna ask him where he knows the oldest from.
$18 for history. She just looks familiar. I feel like I've seen her face somewhere, but I'm not sure where.
Do you think we should be concerned having her on our ship?
I think you should be concerned about having anyone you don't know on your ship, but I was under the impression this was he who shall not be named ship.
I'm paying for it, so.
Okay. Concern's a bit strong.
And do I need to watch my pockets or my throat?
Neither. I think more so you should watch who you come in contact with them.
Like she's gonna get us killed? Or like she's gonna get killed?
It depends on if you get in the way of whoever's posted the wanted poster of her.
Oh, so you remember the wanted poster, but not what it's for. That's so helpful, Bavin.
Listen, I have this thing on my head, and he smacks me. You shush you. He does have the hat. The hat does have. Do I have the hat's stats in here? I do not. I need to find the hat stats real quick. Because the hat can also make an intelligence check. Because it's sentient and funny. So its intelligence is actually worse than Bavin's. That's to be expected. It's a hat. But we'll see. That's a dirty 20, so it rolled better than Bavin. Alright, I'll tell her. Apparently, this thing on my head remembered something that I forgot. They were run out of the kingdom of Ishania for being part of the guards that were guarding where the cultists held the twins before myself and Lady Wren and the rest of our group rescued them. So they were considered accomplices to that and were expelled from the kingdom. The wanted poster that I saw was during one of my trips with Jackson in the underworld with the seedy side of the city. It was more of a bounty poster and less of a wanted poster.
I'm just gonna narrow my eyes at him.
Listen, I already get it every day from Lady Wren. I don't need to get it from you. All right. So they're not inherently dangerous.
But the people they worked with are.
The people they worked with were from a cult. And we struggled against one of them, and then they got away. So yeah, I'd say they're pretty dangerous.
Got it. You can go back to work now.
He just vanishes in front of your eyes. There's a little piece of paper on the ground.
Snatch it real quick.
Do you read it?
Yes, silently in my head.
Okay, you open the note. It says, "Thank you for using Bavin's simulacrum. Bavin was unable to make it to this trip. He is dealing with bullshit. Have a nice day." And then the letter disappears. It wasn't even Bavin.
Amazing.
It was fake Bavin
Amazing.
with fake intelligent hat. All right. At some point, you notice that Joaquim is gone as well from downstairs. So it's just... Well, it depends. Are you going back downstairs again? Because right now, D and Crocker are with the three strangers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back down.
Okay. You go back downstairs. You notice Joaquim is missing, and Crocker and D at some point, Joaquim just vanished like Lala does. Are everyone downstairs? Are you doing anything else in particular?
I'm gonna clean up.
Okay. So D starts helping. I assume at least Crocker, if not both you and Crocker, Yenor, clean up. The youngest also starts helping you clean up, but she kind of needs direction on where things go.
I'm gonna start hunting for Bavin.
Okay. You need to either make an investigation or perception check. Reroll one. Yep.
22.
Hero point.
Okay. Mic right now.
There we go.
Is it back? Yeah. I'm gonna have to take a look at that tomorrow. My screens all just did a flickery doodah again. So let me get this back up over here. I don't know why it's doing that. Might be something going on. Maybe I got updates something, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna cut to what Joaquim is doing right now, because it's gonna be interesting. Joaquim! You are muted if you are talking. But Joaquim, you successfully sneak away from everyone. And you get up.
Sorry, I was in the kitchen.
Yep, you successfully sneak away from everyone and get up to your quarters to find the door shut and not locked, but also not budging.
That's very strange. So I will once again bust my trusty dusty detect magic. See if I sense anything.
You sense all your items. You do sense also some of the magic items that Lala tends to carry on her person as well.
So, but my door will not open.
No, your door does have a little like view hole in it. Not like a peephole, for a single eye, but like a porthole. Thank you. A porthole in the door for a window that you could look through, and you see that it's blocked up with furniture.
Furniture is blocking the door.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Can I see anyone in there?
No, the furniture is blocking the porthole. Like that's how you tell, because normally you'd see your room, but right now you just see the back of a couch or a chair.
How big is I guess this viewing hole?
It's like the size of a standard porthole on a ship. Maybe like, I don't know, the size of the average person's head.
And there's no other windows or anything into this quarters?
No, unless you want to go for a swim and climb on the side of your own ship. But even then, you keep the blinds closed. Or the curtains, I should say.
Are those windows big enough for a person to go through?
You'd have to break them, but maybe.
I see no other way inside my room, so let's do that.
This is going to be a series of checks that, depending on if your success or fail, can get harder or easier.
Okay.
As you are walking to go over the side of your own ship, because that's what you have to do, Yenor comes up the stairs. And Yenor, as you come up the stairs, because you rolled a 25, which beat your 21, Wakeem, you see him trying to be sneaky, leaving his door and starting to go over the side of the ship.
I'm gonna yell out for him to get his ass over here. We need to talk.
I'm done with this shit. Can't get in
It's
my room.
about the little booty holes that you brought on your ship.
I can hear you just fine. And he's still trying to get into his room.
Well, do you continue trying to climb over the railing, or did you stop?
So I would stop on the railing.
Okay.
And say, what's up?
So he's just kind of perched on the railing like a worse Spider-Man. But he did stop.
I'm just gonna walk away. Fuck it.
Okay, where are you walking to?
Back downstairs.
Okay.
Wait, what did you have to say about them?
She's left already back downstairs.
She's deliberately ignoring you.
Then he would make a mean face, but then go back to what he was doing before.
Make an... I'm going to call this one athletics.
Okay. $18.
Okay. You climb over the railing successfully, and you are on the side of the ship now. The window is about 20-25 feet away, shimmying on the side of the ship.
Okay. So I will cautiously shimmy.
Okay. You're going to need to make As these are all probably going to be all athletics checks, unless you mess up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know
make
why.
an athletics check again to try to shimmy over close to the window.
Okay. Okay. That's a 23.
23. So you shimmy
Mm-hmm.
and do like a little swing over. I'd say you get about slightly less than 10 feet. Make another athletics check for me.
Okay. 15. I guess I'll add a hero point.
Go ahead and add a hero point.
Oh, why? It's a D6. 6.
Okay. So that's 21. Let's say you get another just under 10 feet. It looks like you need to shimmy one more time successfully to get to the window.
Okay. Oh no, I got an inspiration point back. Um, almost the next one.
19.
Hmm.
You get in front of the window.
Okay. Through the window?
1 second, my screens are doing the weird thing again.
Whoa.
They all keep flickering, and I don't know why. Oh, and I lost my... There we go.
Did you build these mats in Incarnate?
Did I build what?
What program did you use to build these mats?
This map I imported.
Oh, okay.
From above VTT has a bunch of pre-made maps.
Gotcha.
Why did it do that there? Is that the right one? Yes. So I want this one. All right, so you are in front of the window. Now, you see your blinds or curtain or whatever it is that you have to block sun out from the outside are drawn, so you cannot see into your room from the window.
That's fine. I just want to open the window so I can go inside. I don't care if I can't
The
see
window
any
opens from
clarity.
inside. Can't open it from the
But it's
outside.
not locked. I don't keep it locked, so I should be able to push it in, right? Or pull it out.
I'm gonna say we're gonna have you make a sleight of hand check.
Light of okay. Not so great at these. That's a 22.
All right, you guys are rolling well tonight, unlike last session. It takes you a little while to, you're holding your grip and waves are splashing against, and it's cold and not pleasant out here, and you're breathing in salt water because of the mist of waves splashing. But you do eventually get the window open. It'll be a tight fit.
I'm squeezing.
All right, go ahead and make A squeeze through the hole check.
Yeah.
Um,
Where's the button for the
I don't know. Let's make this interesting. Make an acrobatics check.
acrobatics check? 21.
A 21. It takes you a little bit. You think about halfway through that you feel like you're stuck in the window. So you're kind of doing the full body shimmies and like flailing your legs as best you can. And then eventually you plop down inside and kind of just tumble on the floor. Lala, it's about this time that you hear a bunch of commotion going on in the room. I think right about there we will take our break for the evening and come back. That's a good little break-in point. So we're going to take a break, grab a snack, grab some drinks, and we'll be back here in a few moments.
See what happens with all the tomfoolery and mystery guests.
We are back. Two very important questions from break. One, how do you like your Oreo cookies? Do you want them to be mush or do they have to have a cookie consistency? And two, is there such thing as masking tape money for labeling leftover containers? Please leave your answers in the comments because these are two very important game-changing questions. Back to where we left off. Lala and Joaquim both disappeared, Joaquim having argued with Yenor and threatening to kill his best friend's pet, essentially. Had to break into his own quarters because someone had barricaded the door. There are three strangers that are being fed by Yenor's delicious stew and Kraka's tea. And Yenor and Deedle gained some additional insight on these three strangers. But we're going to pick back up with Joaquim in his captain's quarters tumbling onto the floor from the outside. Joaquim, you are also soaked from the ocean water.
Yep, so I start disrobing.
Okay. Just while you're tumbled on the floor, or do you stand up and start disrobing?
I stand up.
Okay. Are you doing anything
Definitely
else?
standing. No, again, just again, how you said I'm soaked, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then I would stand up, give a quick survey around the room, assess the damage, and then start disrobing. And then once I have all my clothes off, I would essentially kind of put, maybe drape them over a chair or something, and then still naked, I would start repairing my room.
Not really much to repair. It's just things got knocked over or moved out of place. The only real damage was like some pin pricks in your mattress from claws.
Yeah, again, I would.
But
be
most of the
doing
stuff's
my
just been
best
knocked
to
over.
restore. Okay. I would
And
just be doing my best to restore it.
your the chair's still up against your door or whatever. Like, yeah, I'll say the chair. The chair's still up against your door, like barricading it closed.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to
I have
remove
not-
the chair, or are you going to leave it there?
I'm gonna leave it there until I am satisfied that my room is back in a manageable order, and then I would proceed to unblock the door.
Okay, that's going to take you a couple hours.
Okay.
So you're going to spend some time doing that. Lala, are you
Understood.
doing anything in particular, or no? Are you just holding position where you are?
She is in her cubby eating her food and attuning to her belt, testing
Okay.
it out, doing a little flick here, flick there.
Okay. So you can. I will let you know when you can mark that as attuned, as it is now becoming nighttime from evening, so it is approaching the time in which you would begin a long rest anyway. So we go back down to the rest of you. Yenor, Deedle, Kraka, and the three strangers, along with some still simmering stew because it's got to be warm when it's eaten, and some nice tea. Not so nice for some of you. Is anyone doing anything specific? Otherwise, we can just move on to long rest time.
Long rest sounds pretty good with a full belly and some good tea.
Anything from you, Kraka?
I'm just gonna walk them over and show them where they can lay their head. I mean, it's still wood floor, but at least it's not cold.
Okay. Where are you three going to sleep? So that's Yenor, Deedle, and Kraka. Because these three are going to be sleeping down here.
I'll take my normal perch up top in the
Okay.
crow's nest.
I'll help make them comfortable, and then I'll go up and lay with Poppy.
Okay. Kraka, are you staying down here?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna fall asleep until I know everybody else is asleep. I'm gonna be like the guard of our supplies.
Okay. So if Yenor takes a watch, you only need 3 watches because she can cover 4 hours. Or you can just not elect to not do watches. It's up to you guys. Everyone can just long rest together and not do watch, and everyone gets a full 8 hours of sleep, or you can do watches.
I think we should do a watch.
Joaquin's cleaning in his room, so if it's going to take him a couple of hours to clear everything off, then I don't think he would be available for a watch.
Correct.
Once Lala is cubbied, she doesn't come out.
Yep. So it's really between Kraka, Deedle, and Yenor. You can either elect to do a watch rotation between the 3 of you, or you can just rest.
I'll keep an eye out at first.
Okay.
I mean, I was already gonna keep my eye on him for a little bit before I went to sleep anyway, so I'm down for guard duty.
Alright. So we'll do Kraka, Deedle, and then Yenor for rest. Yenor, you're gonna get for the first time in a while, I think, a solid 4 straight hours without being woken up in the middle of it.
Woo!
So we're gonna have Yenor's gonna climb back upstairs and lay with Poppy. Do you want to have Poppy wash off first? She's still a little sandy.
Only if she wants to.
She's dead asleep.
Fine. I can deal with sand. It's just sand.
Okay. As you go up, you see Deedle follows behind you and then just kind of gives you a nod and makes her agile way up to the crow's nest as you've watched her in the middle of the storm just leaping from mast to mast. It's really not that hard. Kraka, you down here holding guard. I don't know why they keep flickering like that. All my screens are being weird funky tonight. Alright. So Kraka, you're gonna take first watch over them down here. You can make a perception check for me for your watch.
$21.
That's pretty good. As you watch, you see that the youngest falls asleep rather quickly. The middle kind of keeps one eye open, kind of. He's resting, but he's not fully asleep. And the oldest is just kind of posted up against the wall, watching you and watching her siblings. But nothing eventful happens. Are you going to do anything specific during your watch?
I'm just gonna assure her that I know you're so used to being protective of your siblings, but if you need to, you can get a little bit of shut eye. Nothing will happen on there.
She just kind of gives you a nod and sits down, kind of rests her head back a little bit. It's around about halfway through your watch, Lala, right before you would be going to sleep, you do attune to your belt. So you can mark that as attuned on your sheet.
Woohoo!
And then you would then go to sleep for the night. If nothing else, Kraka, the rest of your watch goes by uneventfully. How are you going to get Deedle? She's up in the crow's nest.
I'm gonna attempt to try to climb up there.
Okay, that'd be an athletics check.
Yeah, I've never climbed the ropes on the ship before, so it's gonna be a first.
Go athletics.
15.
15. Takes you a little bit of time. Joaquim, you're still awake at the end of his watch, and you hear like just some grunting and rustling around outside on the deck. But you can peek through the porthole of your door because about this time you would have your room in order, and you would have begun moving the chair from out front of it, and you see Crockett's just climbing a rope. It takes you on like 5 minutes, Crocker, but you get to the top and you find Deedle just asleep in the crow's nest.
It is kind of bumper. Hey, foxy lady.
Yo.
It's your turn to keep an eye out.
Okay. I'm gonna get up and keep a lookout.
Are you going to stay up here and keep a lookout, or are you going to go down and keep an eye on the newcomers?
I'm gonna do my rounds. I'll go from up there, watch for about half an hour to an hour or so, and then make my rounds around.
Okay. Kraka, where are you turning yourself in for the night?
Below deck.
Okay. So you're going to just go back to your normal sleeping spot down there.
Mm-hmm.
Deedle, go ahead, make a perception check.
DM, would I also be able to find the older of the Ganassi for a nightcap after I'm done cleaning my room?
You'd still be cleaning your room about this point. You're not quite done, but I will keep that in mind for when you're finished.
Okay.
Also, what's up with the 15s?
I don't know.
As you make your rounds, you do see that Yenor is asleep with Poppy, although Poppy does kind of open one eye at you as you pass by, being the protective animal that she is. And then kind of just closes her eye again as you pass by. You pass by Joaquim's room and you still hear rustling around of him cleaning. And then you head below deck and you find that Kraka has made himself comfortable and is asleep, and all three of the newcomers are asleep.
Good. Everything else should be.
About halfway through your watch, when you're still making your rounds downstairs, Joaquim, you would be finished in your room. So what are you going to be doing?
If everybody's sleeping already, then
You don't know that everyone's sleeping already. You've been in your room.
Okay, then in that case, I would put on some pants, just pants, and I would head downstairs with a bottle of wine in one hand and two glasses, kind of.
Sick
What's wrong with
bastard.
the gray sweatpants?
You know exactly what gray sweatpants mean.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I'll have you know they are not. They are not gray sweatpants.
Good to know you're
Actually,
not
see them.
that obvious, you floozy.
Yeah, no.
You go
I actually see
downstairs.
them more as like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You go downstairs, and you see Deedle making her rounds, and you see that other than Deedle, everyone else is asleep.
Oh, if that's the case, then I would let them. I would actually look at Deedle and hey, since everybody else is asleep, nightcap, and I would offer her a glass and a drink.
Good. I'm just gonna keep watch. Thank you, though.
No worries. And then he'll actually pour himself a glass, and then he will head back upstairs.
I will say you are approaching the point in which you need to go to sleep in order to get a long rest.
Yep. So I will finish off that drink, and then I will kind of just hunker down.
Sleep
Okay.
well.
As you are heading back upstairs, Deedle, it is the end of your watch. So you would actually be heading back upstairs with him. How are you waking up, Yenor?
I'm just gonna kind of be like, hey,
Just
it's
hear,
time to get up.
feel Whisker poke you in the cheek, Yenor. Then you kind of just hear, hey, psst, hey.
I awaken.
You awaken to see just Deedle looming over you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Watch went well.
Fabulous. Go sleep.
Will do.
So
I'm
far,
gonna crawl back up into the crow's nest.
yeah, Deedle, you're the only one who doesn't need to roll athletics to crawl back in the crow's nest.
I'm good.
You crawl back in and happily get yourself back to sleep. Yenor, you are the final rest. You see Joaquin just coming back up the stairs and about making his way back into his room. Joaquin, you hear Yenor wake up. If you're talking, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you. So as he walks through his door, he opens up his door, turns around, sees Yenor get up, gives her a quick nod, and then heads in for bed.
Okay. Yenor, do you wake up Poppy or do you let Poppy sleep?
I let her sleep.
Okay. Make a perception check for your watch.
22.
Finally done with the 15s. Damn. Are you also going to be, well, how are you going to be doing your watch?
Just casual stroll.
Okay. Are you going to just stroll up here? Or are you going to stroll around below deck too?
Everywhere.
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 What is defined as everywhere?
I'm gonna. When I saw Joaquin, he had clothes on, right?
Pants.
Just gonna peek through the people. All right, he's in bed, and I'm gonna walk downstairs.
Okay. So you do your, obviously you know where Deedle is. You watched her just back up to the top. At some one point you think she leapt from one rung to the next rung to just skip climbing. Poppy kind of just trills a little bit and feathers flicker as you get up. Just pat, pat, pat. Just melts asleep. You don't know where Lala is still. You don't know where she disappears to.
That's par for the course.
But you look in through the porthole, you watch Joaquin. He's straightened up his room, gets back in bed, has clothes on.
There's no murderers in there.
No, there's no murderers in there. No one's broken in. Just goes back to sleep. Go downstairs, you see Kraka kind of Kraka, do you sleep withdrawn in your shell, or are you out of your shell?
It depends.
Okay. How are you sleeping
Seeing,
currently?
seeing that I had a drink and I have a full belly, I'm probably like half and half. So my head's probably tucked in my shell, but like a couple of limbs are still hanging out.
So I'm gonna say your head's tucked in your shell, your right arm is in your shell, and your left leg is in your shell. So just your left arm and your right leg are out of your shell.
Perfect.
So you know, you go downstairs, you spend a little time upstairs, you look at, you kind of walk up to where the steering wheel is, make sure no one's hiding out up there. Still like, oh, where the fuck does Lala go at night? No one knows. You go downstairs, you see the three people all the way at the back, they're all sleeping, no one's awake, and you see Kraka. Just no head, no right arm, no left leg. There's right leg and a left arm.
Do I know anything about this race?
Make a history check.
Okay.
They are fairly rare.
22.
15, 22, 20. Come on now. All right. You know that turtles can retract into their shells. Most do, as their shells are protective. They can selectively retract in parts of their body as well. So it's not abnormal for this to be the case. And you've seen him fully retract into a shell sleeping before.
Okay, I'll just like peek real quick, make sure his head's still attached
His
in
head,
there.
his head's still attached.
Okay.
All of
we're
his
good.
everything's still attached. It's just
Okay.
it's a little strange to not to just see an arm and a leg, but he's fine. There's no
A little
blood.
alarming.
No one's in the back. Like he cleaned up, and you assume at least one of them helped clean up the leftovers stored somewhat properly. There's an enchanted like cooling apparatus, not quite as efficient as like a refrigerator, but enough for leftovers for a couple days. Then they're all asleep as well. There's nothing strange. Like the young one's just sprawled, like just weirdest position. The middle brother is kind of just asleep, like just coffin style asleep. And the oldest is like still sitting cross-legged and leaned up against the wall, but kind of just passed out with her head on, like not laying down. Like she fell asleep while trying to watch her siblings. You got 4 hours, and you don't have to go back to sleep after that 4 hours. So, are you doing anything during this time? Yes, you don't have Lala, so you can't pick the chests.
He removed the lock, so wouldn't they be unlocked now?
No, he just removed the magic.
Okay. Can I break the lock?
Try.
I'll try to break the lock. Quietly.
So I'll have you make a stealth check first, since you're trying to do it quietly.
Inspiration then.
Are you just gonna re-roll? Okay.
That was worse. Inspiration.
Rations do you have?
Enough.
Sticking with the 15? Okay. No, it's not. 15, so it's not that you're loud, it's just gonna take longer for you to keep it quiet. How do you want to try to break the lock?
I'm gonna take one of the daggers out of my back pocket and just try to like
Shove and twist?
break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the U is.
Yeah, break that.
Okay. Make a Sleight of hand check. To just get it in place.
That is a natural 20.
Oh. Everyone gets an inspiration back. Because that was a natural 20. Yeah, using your investigator knowledge, you might not be good at picking them, but you can definitely break them. You just kind of get it in and doesn't break, and then you kind of adjust it, doesn't break, and then you just it breaks. Clink, 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 clink. You're doing the other one too?
No, just the one, because I remembered that Lala wanted it for something.
Okay. Are you opening the chest?
Sure.
Because it's like latch and then the lock, so you have to unlatch it and open it. So you open the chest, and you're met with probably the largest grouping of gems and precious metals and non-currency valuables.
For 4 of us, right? No, 5. 5 of us.
There's 5 of you.
Okay.
There's 4K worth of stuff in each chest.
Too tired to do math right now. I
Yeah.
leave it.
You leave it? You're not gonna inspect?
Sure, I'll investigate the random pile.
Roll an investigation check. Yeah, you have advantage on these.
19.
19, okay. It's jewels, jewels, jewels. Clang! Get about 2/3 of the way down in the chest with your hand, and you hit like...
Is it a false bottom?
Yes.
I quietly dump everything out next to me, like small handfuls,
Because when
making sure it's not dumping the whole
Listen,
thing.
when you said dump, I thought you were gonna try to lift this heavy ass chest onto its side. And just like a change machine of sound, just waking up the whole ship. No one gets a long rest.
Quiet.
Okay, so you quietly just start moving stuff out.
Tiny handful.
Yeah, you tiny handfuls out. That's fine. It's okay. So you're essentially now like you're sitting cross-legged or kneeling. How are you doing this?
Probably just cross-legged,
Okay, so-
right up against the chest.
So you're sitting cross-legged, right? And you're scooping stuff out of the chest. And you don't realize how much is actually in the chest because it's just condensed box. So you get to the false bottom, right? And then you look around yourself. It's about a 15-foot sphere around you of just stuff.
Nice.
It-
What does the false bottom look like? Like, does it look like a false bottom? Is there a seam?
Well, with that investigation check, after you got everything out, you would be doing the whole do like around the thing with your fingers, and then as it happens in all the TV shows and movies, you get to one particular part, and your fingers just slip down a little bit, like it's a little latch.
I pull the latch.
You pull the latch, and the false bottom unlocks and comes up.
Is it a mimic?
What you see underneath that false bottom enrages you. Sniffle shade.
Oh. Oh.
There are blocks of what you recognize as processed, refined sniffle shade.
Who knew?
I'm assuming it's a
sending stone that Lady Wren gave me, right?
Yes.
I'm going to whisper into it that I need Bavin immediately, and it is danger.
The glitchstone is not glowing.
It's not glowing.
It has not had enough time to recharge its magical reserve to be used again yet.
All right. Where on the boat are these chests?
Oh, I realized I didn't move you to where you should be.
Yeah.
So the loot stuff would have been brought back like over here in the back part. This is the cargo area, but they kind of put the loot stuff off to the side. So it's back in this area here.
All right, so it's just like in a corner.
Yes.
All right, I'm immediately going to slam the lid shut.
Click. It clicks.
And I'm gonna pull out my sword, and I'm gonna plant myself right on top of it. Just crisscross applesauce, holding my big sword, and I'm gonna wait.
With just gems all.
Fuck the gems. Fuck the gems. We'll deal with that later. This is more important. I sit with my sword and I wait.
So you're sitting crisscross on top of the chest that you just broke open to. There's just 15-foot circle of just valuable gems and stones and other jewelry and things. And there's just this blank spot in the center of the circle that's about you sized. And you just have your sword. You're just sitting here with this serious look on your face, with your sword, just sitting here.
Is Wakim's bedroom right above me?
Yes.
How tall is the ceiling?
Why are there, sir? I'm not prepared for obscure
If I
questions.
stand up and I use the hilt of my sword, would I hit the ceiling? I'm like 5'7".
I'm gonna say standard ceilings are like 8 to 9 feet.
It might be smaller though because it's a boat.
On the boat? Like the underside of a boat?
On a boat, on a boat it would be lower. So I'm gonna say like
7 feet?
7 feet.
So yeah, you'd be able to, you'd be able to reach up and hit it with the hilt of your. It wouldn't take much effort to do that, to just bang like that. Around the time that you find this, it is like the sun is starting to come up. So for everybody now at this point, you can click the long rest button on your sheets. Because this whole process would have taken you a while.
Yeah.
Like the scooping out and the breaking the lock and everything, this whole thing would have taken you a while. But you would have frozen the second that, like Wakim made you angry, right?
Mm-hmm.
This, what you just found, is a different level of. It brings back all the feelings. It brings back your memories and the bits and pieces that you could, that of the times you were conscious while you were being beaten in that alley.
Team's floor, hoping that he wakes up.
Okay. Joaquin and everyone, just about it. You've all taken a long rest, so the sun's coming up, so you guys can now wake up safely whenever. But Joaquin specifically, you hear just this loud, incessant banging on your floor. And at first it sounds random. Because you're like waking up out of a deep sleep, right?
Yep.
But as you wake up more and you like actually sit up and, you know, your brain turns on after the sleep fog gets removed, you recognize it as an SOS symbol or SOS signal.
And it's repeated.
Yes. So you just at first you just hear the banging underneath your floor or underneath your room. Yeah, underneath your. I guess it's the same thing. That sounds random at first. Then you hear it again, and you're like, "Huh, that sounds familiar." And then you hear it again, and you're like, "Wait a second, it repeated itself, and then you hear it again. It's like, oh. After about the third time of hearing the same pattern, you recognize it as the SOS symbol the SOS signal repeating.
In that case, let's see here. I would jump up. I would grab my adamantine breastplate and my shield,
Okay.
and then running out the door, I would be uh, putting on my breastplate. So I would have my breastplate on, my shield in my left hand.
Yep.
And I would be wearing my navy blue sweatpants, no shoes.
So you're just shoes, breastplate, shield. So you're like the half-dressed soldier being woken up.
Yep, exactly.
That's great. Okay. Well, technically, you don't need a weapon. Your weapon's magic.
Exactly. So I jump out the. I jump out the room, and I
barefooted.
I'm still sleepy. Yeah, barefooted. And I'm still sleepy, so I'm like fumbling a little bit.
Yeah.
And I make my way downstairs to
Okay.
to where I hear the banging from.
So
and I'm just what?
You get downstairs in your half asleep state, like you banged your shoulder on the way out of your room. You almost stumbled. You almost fell down the stairs, and you hear this from underneath. You hear the stumbling, the grumbling, and you're still banging You're still banging until you see he stumble. You trip. You know, you're like it's like you're hungover, but really it's just because you've been woken up suddenly. You know, you have one sleeve all the way down, the other sleeve's just up because you underneath the breastplate you have like protection. You can't just have metal on your skin. That's weird. Like your shield's upside down. He walks in, you see his shield upside down. His breastplate's like a little cockeyed. It's not really tight on him yet. It's like
disheveled.
And Joaquin, you come in and you see there's a broken lock on the ground. Yenor has her great sword now because she's seen you. Her long sword. Just in front of her like a knight at ease with both her hands on it. There's just 15-foot circle of just precious jewels with a blank space in the center of it. And she is sitting cross-legged on top of the chest that is closed.
SOS?
You need to get Bavin and Lady Wren now. This chest is full of Sniffle Shade.
Would I know the significance behind that?
That wakes you up. Like the adrenaline starts pumping. You too begin having memories of getting that. Well, first memories of when you had celebrated Yenor graduating and becoming an investigator, and then her being assigned the high-profile cases because she was so good at her job. And then her slowly getting in deeper ties with various unscrupulous individuals. And then her getting beaten within an inch of her life in the alley and the months of recovery after that.
Damn.
And then just as the same look that is on Yenor's face, it's a different kind of anger than what she had towards you for threatening Poppy. This is like deeper, primal. That similar feeling rises up in you.
Yep. All joking drops. Puts on the serious face. Looks at her. Looks at the chest. Nods. Kind of tries to collect himself and throws the shield on his back.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, and then kind of, resituating his breastplate. Comes outside, gets Kraka. Bavin's not still on the ship, is he?
No, he's been gone since last night.
He works
I'm gonna
the
look back at
docks.
Yenor.
No, he was working the docks last night.
That's what we know.
Yes.
So I would look back at Yenor and say, "How did you get in touch with Bavin?"
I'm gonna throw the sending stone at him, like a light toss, not
Yeah.
like chuck it,
Yeah.
but light toss.
Like you're tossing something to someone. Yeah. So she tosses this stone to you, which you immediately recognize as a sending stone. And you
Yep.
can tell that it hasn't quite gotten its magic back yet to be used.
Damn it! Still needs a recharge yet.
I'll guard this. Go to the docks. Find Ren and Bavin.
Yep. So I will proceed outside.
Before you do that, we're going to go with Kraka, Deedle, and Lala. You would hear some sort of commotion. Lala, you would probably hear the banging the loudest. I'm not sure if you would recognize the international SOS signal.
Probably not.
But you do hear you do recognize a repeating pattern. You don't know what it means, but it is repeating in set intervals. You hear
Bigger trigger
Bavin,
is hearing Joaquin leave.
or yeah, you
because
hear
anytime-
you hear him leave and stumble and crash into things as he's leaving.
So, yeah. Once he's out, she'll sneak out to see what's going on.
Okay, so you also would have heard that as you were coming down the stairs. Would have heard part of that conversation. Kraka, you're down there, so unless you're not waking up with all the commotion, you would have also heard that conversation.
No, I didn't hear the SOS symbol, but I heard all the clanging and everything from Joaquin. So if he came down and he would have seen me, he would have. Once I heard the noise, I kind of like peeked my head out my shell a little bit, like how a turtle would peek its head out the water just to breathe a little bit.
Yeah. Oh god. It's doing the weird thing again. Man. We're on time once for a while, and then we have technical difficulties.
So yeah, I'm just kind of like peeking my head out a little bit until I figure out what's going on, and then I see it's Joaquin coming down the steps. So I just kind of fade back off, but then I hear sniffle shade.
Yeah.
So I kind of like slowly start popping each limb out of my shell and wake up.
Okay. Deedle, you also hear the commotion. You're not quite low enough because you're in the crow's nest to hear the banging, but you hear all the commotion. It's up to you whether or not you stay asleep or you wake up and go see what's going on.
I'm gonna wake up and go see what's going on.
Alright, so you wake up. You probably wake up and get down just about the same time that Lala is, so you're going down with her. So you overhear most of that conversation as well. The three strangers must have been extremely tired because they're still fully asleep. They have not woken up. Might be for the better at this point. But, Bavin, you are still only, I'd say, 3/4 dressed because you don't have shoes, or Joaquin. I used Bavin, now I keep saying Bavin, damn it. Joaquin, you're now only 3/4 dressed, because you don't have shoes on. But you were heading out, so where are you going and what and how?
So heading to the docks, trying to find Bavin. I believe that's what Yenor asked me to do.
Yep. Are you going in your current state, or are you going to try to make yourself a little more presentable?
Definitely try to make himself more presentable.
Okay, so you take like 5 minutes, find a better pair of pants, and like
and actual shoes.
and actual shoes, yeah. So you're not like getting splinters and need a tetanus shot.
Yep.
I imagine you woke up out of bed with one sock on and not one sock.
But respectfully, this is my ship. This is not some unpolished vessel.
Right.
This is a taken care of ship. So walking around barefoot is not detrimental. Going beyond this.
No, that's what I said. Yeah,
absolutely.
On your ship you're fine. That's what I was saying. If you went barefoot to go find Bavin, you need a tetanus shot.
Yes, several.
No, so you find boots, you find proper attire, at least semi-proper attire. So it's not like full captain's dress, but it's better than blue sweatpants, and a mostly fastened breastplate, an upside-down shield, and one sock on one foot.
I'll take it.
You find I'd say jeans or casual pants, and your just casual boots. Fix your breastplate, fix your shield. And you go off and you go try to find Bavin or whoever's in charge to get Bavin and Lady Ren.
Yep.
I'm going to say you move with haste, not the spell, just quickly.
Yeah.
And this won't take you very long. It probably takes you 5 minutes to clear to the crowd. The crowds haven't grown yet at the gates because obviously everyone had to sleep at some point. So the guards are kind of just there as guards. You get to the gates. You recognize the one guard that almost cuffed you last night. Whoa there, buddy. Where are you going? I thought I told you to...
Look. Please. I know we had our differences, but we've got an issue related to some sniffle shade. I need to find Investigator Bavin.
You,
Technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really gonna have to do something about that tomorrow.
Oh, you're back in?
Yeah. You...
The alchemic analyst?
Sniffle shade, you say. Maybe we should take a look at that. And you see him motion to other guards who grab their weapons.
That's perfectly fine, but we do need the alchemic analyst.
Hold, stand down. This group is under the protection and guidance of Lady Ren. We must get the message to her before we proceed further.
Is that
You
Bavin?
see, Envoy Ibrick Huvum come out of the doc's office. He doesn't look pleased about having to report to Lady Ren. He looks a little perturbed. You notice that on his face, Joaquin. But nevertheless, the guards stand down. Joaquin, was it, of Sioux Sailing?
You got it.
Yeah, you've done some shipments or at least your father has, for us for over here. Listen.
We.
Go ahead.
Oh no, we are a merchant sailing company. Sioux Sailing. We do the smoothest sailing around. You were gonna say?
Do you need Bavin or do you need Lady Ren?
Well, I would prefer to. I think actually Lady Ren would probably be the person to speak with.
If I can just interject, I have to say that is like a sales line, and I appreciate that. Like, smooth sailing is smooth sailing? Hell yeah. Who is your marketing director?
His mother. His mother's the marketing director.
Bravo, Mrs. Sue.
Yes. I mean, yeah, no, she actually did come up with that.
His father manages the ships and the operation.
Mrs. Sue is a marketing
Ian's having tech
genius and an
difficulties
angel.
again.
Yeah, it's real bad. Like this is real bad. We're gonna end after we get this.
Tech difficulties still?
Yeah, the screens keep flickering and it disconnects me and reconnects me. It's like, I don't know, driver updates or underpowered, overpowered maybe? I don't know. I'll have to play around with the cables
That is
tomorrow.
true.
Perks of working at home. You can diagnose technical difficulties while you're working. Anyway, well, I'll see if I can get in contact with them. He doesn't seem too enthused or in a rush to do so.
I mean, do you not realize how serious this could be, sir? This
You can-
is serious.
You see him roll his eyes.
Do we have a problem?
Oh, no, I don't have a problem with you. I have a problem with government.
Ah. Do I need to insight check that in order to determine exactly what he's getting at?
I mean, you can roll an insight check. Oh, you only have a +2. 18? Okay.
18?
Um, Let me roll. Oh, he rolled higher. Just base rolled higher. His face is hard to read, but from his tone and the way, like his body language right now, it just looks like he's tired and drained, and just doesn't want to deal with anything at this point. Just done. But like he can't be done. Like mentally he's checked out. Probably didn't mean anything by what he said other than he's just fed up.
That's fair.
Here, I'll tell you what. You come in the office, you can use our communication to contact them yourself.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And he'll
Lead you-
follow.
He leads you into the office. You see Praetor Fanis Oldenfield in there as well. Looks like she fell asleep on top of paperwork, but is now doing and reorganizing the paperwork. Doesn't even acknowledge you being there. Seems very focused. You are handed a communication device. Looks like it was made by an artificer of sorts or an inventor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite a sending stone, but it is a communication device of sorts. Here, this is the direct line to Lady Wren. It's early, she might not be awake at the present moment, but you could try.
If I'm unable to use this right now, If I'm unable to contact her with this right now, will I be able to use this again later, or is this kind of a one and done thing?
This is our intercom, so you can use it to
Oh,
contact whoever
sorry.
you would like from this
Uh,
office.
he'll nod. He nods, smiles, and activates in order to reach out to Lady Rush.
Okay. You see it. It's just there's just a button on it. You just hit the button and you can feel the arcane energy hum from it.
Lady Rain, can you hear me?
Ah, who's talking
Apologies. This
this
is
early?
Joaquin. Apologies. Joaquin Sue of Sue Sailing. We recently spoke about the vampire.
Oh yes,
Well, we didn't know
yes,
they're
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. I'm used to dealing with your friend. What's her name? Investigator
Yenor.
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 Yes, the one with the big, fluffy, cute animal. Yes. What is it? What can I do for you? And do you need me, or can I
Apologies.
send my advisors?
I guess you tell me. The treasure that we received included sniffle shit.
Silence for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Yep.
Like almost a minute of just nothing.
Yep.
Then you hear a deep sigh. I guess I will have to come down there myself. I will be bringing Bavin, Jackson, and some trusted guards with me.
Oh.
Bavin was overseeing the handoff of your loot, but it wasn't Bavin who selected the loot. Since we are only here helping, it was actually Executor Pardon and Praetor Oldenfield that released the loot from their confiscation vault.
So when she says that, there's gonna be like a bad crinkly connection. So it's gonna be like, I'm sorry, what was that? Executor Hardon?
you can feel the eye roll through the phone or this device. It's not really it. For all intents and purposes, it's a phone, but it's not really a phone.
Yeah.
Executor Pardon. We hear that joke a lot. Give us
Apologies, bad
10
connection.
minutes, and we'll be down.
See you soon.
And
And then
the
any
line,
connection.
and yeah, the magic coming ends, and you see Envoy Hoovam just holding out his hand to be given it back.
Yep, I gave it back to him. Is Envoy Hoovam attractive?
One second, let me look at. Alien. Okay, so not so much in the like beauty competition standard sense, but yes, in the like non non-mainstream, what's shoved down your throat type way.
So Joaquin would give him like a flirtatious kind of like grin and wink his eyes as he walked out.
Again, you can feel the eye roll behind you as you leave.
Understood.
You get the sense that the eye roll wasn't at the gesture, but at the fact that he probably doesn't roll that way.
Yep.
Nothing against Joaquin, but if they don't roll that way, they don't roll that way.
No worries.
He's also a public figure and a politician.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, nowadays, does that really mean anything?
Listen, we're not in the United States of America. We are in
Words.
We are in Etheros.
Words.
Not the USA.
Mechanics question. Do you discern attractiveness by rolling a d10?
I do not, but I can.
I was just curious. Like, it's a 1 out of 10. That person's a 7.
If I were going to discern attractiveness by that way, I would use a D100, not a D10.
Wow.
I would go to percentile instead of just 1 to 10.
They're 17% hot.
But yeah, that's a fancy scale, and I have more questions and answers now.
Joaquin, by the time you get back to the ship, because it's like another 5 minutes. Well, so it's been about 10 minutes since you left and come back. In that time, we're gonna go to everyone else now. Yenor.
Yeah.
Are you explaining anything else to anybody else? Or are you just...
I'll tell him I found drugs. In the meantime, I would have dragged the other crate in front of me and hooked my legs over it and just planted the sword in my hands right between. And I'm just straddling all the crates, just waiting.
You would have needed help with the other crate.
Drugs?
Drugs.
Why do you have drugs?
Yenor, make an athletics check. I was going to give you disadvantage because of the weight of the crate, but situationally because of adrenaline, I'm just going to make it a flat roll.
Lala is going to very, very casually picking gems up and stuffing them in her pockets as we speak.
That's a 23. I'm going to tell her, stop. They might have drugs on it. We need to wait for the ladies.
I'm not going to lick them.
Listen, I don't know what you're going to do, but this is the crime scene. I'll give you as many as you want in a second. We just got to wait.
Lala pouts and stops picking them up, but she doesn't put the ones in her pockets down.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I'd be staring at her.
Mm-hmm. And then Yenor, make an active perception check. Oh.
Active perception.
Yeah, so just roll perception. I'm not. You're staring at her. It's active, not passive.
Inspiration. 21. Nope.
So Lala, you do get to keep, I'd say probably like 3 decent sized gems, just random gems, before Yenor pointed at you and told you to stop.
Sounds fair.
Say 3 miscellaneous gems. Doesn't really matter what they are at this point currently. Deedle and Kraka, are you doing anything? And Lala, are you doing anything else?
So where exactly is the storage area where?
You're in the storage area. The sleeping quarters are like converted storage area spaces. But the loot was dropped in the back of the dining area, like the crates and everything.
Oh,
Where
there's like a doorway between where Yenor is and everything, and where the
I wouldn't
guests are
call it
sleeping.
a doorway per se, but it's like a partition wall. So like it's like a half wall, so you can still see over it, and then there's a space in it that you can walk through, but you can also climb over a partition wall.
Is there like a sheet or something that I can kind of like hang so that our guests
Hey,
don't see
Yenor,
a 15-foot wall of gems when they wake up?
where'd you hide all the sheets?
I would have
Gotten them out for them when I was helping make them more comfy.
Okay. Kraka, you do find a sheet to kind of block off the area.
And then I'm gonna start once I block off the area so that when they wake up they don't see the 15-foot wall of gems. I'm gonna start preparing like I guess some more tea since everybody liked it, but I'm gonna make myself a different batch. Like I'm gonna make the mixture different because I don't know why it tastes like shit to me. Everybody else says it tastes good, so I'm just gonna try to make it differently. Maybe more water or whatever.
But using the same leaves.
Yes,
Okay.
I think I just used too much, so I'm just gonna,
Okay. So you're making two batches, one like you did last night and one altered for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Deedle, are you doing anything particular? Lala, if you were picking up stuff, you'd actually be like in the doorway. Are you gonna move or position yourself anywhere specifically?
I'm gonna go see what. Oh, sorry.
That's alright. No, you go first.
I'm just gonna rummage around and try to find something for breakfast.
Alright, so you'll be over here while Kraka's back here making tea. Go ahead, Lala.
She's going to sit on the floor in the periphery of the gens and talk to Yenor. Like, so you're good with interrupting an execution to break out some pirates, but you have a problem with drugs.
This drug is the reason I almost died.
I mean, a pirate could also be the reason you almost died. It just depends on the circumstance you happen to be in.
I'm gonna give her a look and say, it might have been pirates.
I'm just trying to figure out where your moral lines here lie. Seems like an odd thing to get all worked up about.
Someone wanted these drugs badly enough and wanted me to not know about it, that they almost killed me. And they left me in an alley for dead.
I mean,
And that's a problem.
Where I come from, some petty bar fight could kill a bunch of orphans and leave a building on fire for a block and a half.
That's also not good and would also elicit a response. We don't fuck with children, we don't fuck with animals, and we don't do drugs.
Well, I guess that clears up the lines at least.
There you go. We also don't fuck with women.
Hey D, during this conversation, you feel quite uncomfortable.
A little bit awkward. Yes.
Do I notice this?
Make an insight check.
That's a natural 20.
Oh, D, go ahead and roll either persuasion or deception.
You want to roll for me? My computer is out.
Inspirations for everyone.
Yeah, everyone gets inspiration. Let me see.
I'm full.
What?
I said I'm full.
I'll
You're-
take
Can't
yours.
get any more.
All right, so
Gotta use them.
they're the same. No, that's persuade. No, so decide. We're gonna do this.
We do rock,
Do
paper,
this.
scissors?
You rolled a 3 plus 7. Do you want to use an inspiration?
Yes, please.
Can you beat a natural 20?
Hey!
Oh, she matched your natural 20 and she beat you by 1.
Oh.
Whew! That was intense. That was like, that
Damn.
was recorded. That was a natural 20 roll off. Jesus. But because they are so close together, you do notice that she is a little nervous and shifty. But you're unsure of why.
I'm just gonna stare at her. I'm gonna tighten the grip on my sword a little bit. Latch my legs tighter around the chest.
Deedle, you feel Yenor's gaze like boring into your soul after she's had this conversation with Lala.
I'm just gonna continue to try to act normal and do my breakfast thing.
Okay. Joaquim does make it back to the ship. And a few moments later, we're gonna have Bavin and Ren both appear on the ship. Joaquim, right as you get on and you're about to go back downstairs, you feel the swirls of magic behind you of Bavin and Lady Ren. And we're going to call it there.
Yeah.
Thank you,
that's good.
everyone, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the shenanigans and then the complete 180 to serious drugs. Hope you enjoyed tuning in. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We will get those sorted out. Until we see you next week, have a good one. Stay safe and enjoy the nice weather.
This episode was brought to you by the number 15 and the letter R.
Wait, but those are sounds, yes? A letter.
You're an onomatopoeia.
15 is a number. Ah.
Good night, guys.
Yeah, good night,